this.
I'm excited, man. Let's see it. Let's go.
Ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready. We're up on live all three platforms for me, so we're good to go.
Sweet.
Hey, everybody.
Sweet.
Robin C. Stern. I'm here today with Kyle Kearns, and it is Tech Talk Sunday. We'll have some cool intro video there with a 10-second clip or something someday at some point. But
one of these days.
Yeah. But since we're just starting this crap, let's just do it. This is a Gary V thing. It's I work with some large corporations. They've changed in the last couple of years. Instead of planning everything out and getting it perfect, they come up with the idea and then they throw it out there to the world and see what happens. And if they get a response, they keep going and they refine it as they go. So there we are.
Yeah.
Robin C. Stern with Kyle Kearns from Codexo Sites. What's going on today, Kyle? How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
You know what? Anytime I get to hang out with you, it's good. I'm grateful to have the time to spend and just building our brands and having a good time at the same time. What better way could you spend a Sunday afternoon, right?
Exactly, man.
How late did you stay up last night with those storms?
Oh, not at all.
No?
Dude, that was nothing compared to the hurricanes from Florida. So, I heard some stuff hitting the house. And, after the last two hurricanes that came through Florida, I stayed down there for the last one. It was a direct hit, Category 3, right above the house. So, it was like 11:30 and I was like, yep, I'm done.
Well,
Lock me out.
I promised my wife I would stay up and watch the house because she kept saying we should go to the basement. We should go to that. And we got a nice futon in the basement. I could have made it up, and it's heavy enough that if I had to flip it on top of me to cover me from debris. We also have the little closet under the stairs, so we could have done that. And I said, you know what? Go to bed. I'll stay up and watch it. And if any alarms go off or if they think a tornado's coming, I'll wake you up. So I had to stay up. I stayed up till about 3. And that's when it pretty much blew through, and that was the end of it. So I went and crashed out. And you know what? Mama was very grateful this morning. She got a good night's sleep, and I got to sleep in, and so it was a good day all the way around. Now it's a beautiful, nice, cool afternoon here in Northwest Georgia. Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, man. Beautiful out today.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of a late gym today, so I was getting home probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I was like, man, it is so nice that the weather's starting to.
Yeah, I wish I had a motorcycle today, right? That's a day for motorcycles. I think for sure.
Can't do motorcycles.
No, I won't do motorcycles if I have to do a motorcycle. I only want to do a motorcycle on the days I want to do a motorcycle, right? Like 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning in May in Northwest Georgia, just ripping up the road, nobody else out there. 4-lane road going up through Cartersville or Daresville or something where you just have a great time. It's a beautiful day. That's the only time I would be doing anything with a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, Kyle, you keep telling me you're going to blow my mind with what you learned from Google. Are you ready to share that yet, or are we going to put that off a little bit longer?
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
Right,
so it was the first utilization of what I thought it could do. And, I worked with this person on just the way that they wanted a workout schedule. And since I'm, kind of health conscious and I, have a little bit of an idea, I've been working out for a few years. I was like, yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll set up a meeting and we'll try and get you something that'll get you going. Because they didn't really know how to do it all.
Right.
So here, I'm going to go ahead and start this stream here.
Hopefully I'll be able to see it all on my output.
Yeah, let's see how
this goes.
Yeah, because it's gonna be different.
It's probably going to cut it in half on my output because I'm only showing half of my screen.
Yep. So it actually came out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move yours over a little bit in my screen so that
we make sure. So this is basically the transcription feature that I pay for every month. It comes with a lot of different things in my workspace platform.
Is that the workspace? You're paying for it with your email and your Google Calendar and everything else. Okay, so you got a workspace account. All right.
Yeah, so I have a workspace, mainly for contracts, right?
All right.
You'd pay $10, $12, $20 a month to send out contracts through DocuSign or anything like that. So I just kind of integrated it into my Google. Well, with that, they have this new feature called transcription and notes.
Nice.
So as you can see, everything that was spoke between me and the other person is just going ahead and it is, transcribed for us.
Yep.
But Gemini started coming out with this great new thing called
Ah,
Notes, where it now shoots out a summary of everything that was talked about, certain timestamps, so you can go
wow.
back and everything's recorded as well. Right. So, it goes over workout schedule, leg workout preferences, because she wants to work on her legs more. Certain
Everything
exercises
you
we
talked
talked
about.
about. Yeah,
Everything you
everything
talked
we
about.
talked about with the timestamps. And then it says suggested next steps. I told her I would, outline everything in a Google Doc, build a Google Drive for it, and send it over. So that way, whenever it kind of changes throughout the, you know, next year or so, it's automatically updated in her Google Drive.
Very cool.
The cool thing from here, right? I didn't even take the full transcription. So I didn't take all of this information.
Right.
I just took the notes. Just use the notes,
Uh-huh.
and we'll go over here to up. I lost it. It's my Gemini. Here we go.
Y'all good.
Just give me a second. I lost the document. Is what it is. As you can see, I use Gemini for everything.
Yeah, I'm a freak about it too.
But here we go. There it is.
Okay. Here's a workout.
So I dropped the entire note summary
right
from what Gemini had created, right? This is probably over an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours worth of work. And I just dropped the summary in here and told Gemini, build me a workout schedule based off of the information that you have in front of you and what we had talked about in the meeting.
Wow.
And this is what it popped out. Monday.
Wow.
Exercises that we spoke about. Tuesday, soccer's in there plus the core and gave it a set of core exercises. Wednesday gives a completely different set of core exercises based off of the exercises that we spoke about in the meeting.
Right.
And then the upper body, then Thursday into core, Friday, and then Sunday.
Wow.
And I will say I have to make a couple adjustments to the overall thing.
Sure.
But the fact that I minimized the conversation and it automatically spit out a transcription with notes. And then from that transcription with notes, not even the full transcript, I dropped that in Gemini and it took me sitting there and going through, okay, this is what I got to put on Monday. This is what I got to put on Tuesday. And it completely built her an entire personalized
That's pretty
thing
badass.
around her schedule. And, the great things that I loved about Gemini here at the very bottom was progressive overload, key considerations, right? Focusing on weight and intensity for leg exercises, tracking progress, form, prioritize proper form over heavy weight, and just that it, looked at all of the other things that we spoke about, like nutrition, flexibility,
Right.
and the Google Doc, and put it in there at the very bottom of it was just mind blowing to me.
Crazy.
And I mean, this was all done, like I said, in 5 minutes.
It's crazy.
I shot this out.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And I mean, you could do this all with free Gemini. I mean, the only thing you really need is the transcription from the paid workspace. But workspace comes with so much, from unlimited photo storage and cloud storage with my photos to, I pay $9.99 a month for Apples, right? And I get 2 terabytes to share with the family.
Right.
And I pay 14 with Google and it's unlimited.
Right.
Plus all of the other slew of, things that are thrown in with it alone, right? Like all the Gemini implementations into every application that they have on Workspace. It's really mind blowing to me, at least.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, let's just face it. The idea that there is these free resources that we can look at and we can use and we can access, it just freaks me out. So why don't you put yourself back on the screen there so the rest of my audience gets to see you. There's all the rest of your stuff.
Yeah,
Stop
you
sharing.
got little glimpse into my life.
Yeah, just stop sharing.
Some workout videos in there.
Right.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and
there you go. Now you're
stop
back on
the
my
stream.
screen with my peoples.
Yeah.
So I was using
Yeah.
Notebook LM last week, and Notebook LM is another resource from Google. And what I did, we have a meeting every Friday morning. You're welcome to come to that, by the way, Kyle. It's Friday with Friends, 8 o'clock. I don't know if you'd be up at 8 o'clock on Friday morning, but we have
I am.
It's what we call the Jerry Seinfeld networking meeting, because there's Jerry Seinfeld was the show about nothing. And there was even an episode of Jerry Seinfeld where they wrote a coffee table book about coffee tables, like the book about nothing, right? So that's the whole thing. There's like no real topic. So Friday morning is the Jerry Seinfeld networking meetings. We just come on and we shoot the shit with each other. We talk about what we're going through this week. And he has a Phantom AI taking the notes. He sends those out after every Friday meeting. So then I said, make a list, and I'm gonna go ahead and share this screen. Let me see if I can do this without like blowing up the whole freaking world here.
Probably gonna blow up the whole world.
Yeah, that's it. I think we should.
Yep. Starting to blow up the world.
So that's now I'll just drag this one over here. This will work if I do it this way. Notebook LM, pull this one over here, and then we'll go to recording screen for my people. You probably don't see this, but everybody else does. So then I said, make a task list for Robin from these notes, right? So all I said was just what did I say I was going to do, right? That's the big thing with me. So here's the task list for Robin C. Stern based on the following notes. Follow up with the proof of new book from the printer, right? Waiting on the proof from the printer now. Schedule a call with Cliff. Have a one-to-one with Richard. Follow up with Tyler regarding his interest with Cliff. We're going to talk to this guy about possibly franchising our business. And he wants to start the first franchise model in Philadelphia for our computer company, right? Put together ideas for how to deal with Tyler, prep for the next call with Cliff, decide whether to prioritize checking out Daniel's new networking app. So, and that's based on a note that I had said that I was, and look, that still has me as a she. Say Robin indicated she has not prioritized it yet, right? She might want to consider attending the talk or booking a call with Daniel. Yeah. What I'm trying to say there is that I was able to just take that Notebook LM and just say, tell me what I said I was going to do. So when I meet a new customer, potential customer, or just somebody I want to chat with, like when I met Kyle, I do a 15-minute discovery call. I don't charge anything, right? So just let's connect for a minute. Let's hang out. Kyle, did you disconnect? You're not there.
Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah, I still hear you, but I don't see your video.
I'm dropping.
Yeah, your video locked up.
My video is good on my end. I wonder where the video is buffering from.
Yeah, it's not coming into me on either side. Not on your Gemini or not on your Google Meet or streaming.
Okay, it's not coming in anywhere.
Yeah, just refresh your camera or something. Oh, now if I look at you on LinkedIn's just delayed. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I am live everywhere. I'm frozen on your entry.
No, on Google Meet you're frozen, as far as I can see.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I'm looking at your Google Meet screen.
What about now?
Yeah,
it's changed inputs. Dang it!
I'm moving. I see me on Google Meet. This is the joy of what we're trying to learn right now, folks. Just so you know.
This is why you have tech guys too, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that just freaked something the hell out. And I just left the meeting. Whoa! What did I just do? Let me get off of that. We just screwed something up.
The infinity screen.
Oh my goodness, Kyle, what did we just do, man? You're back on the meeting, but you also have a third screen going on. What's that third screen with the like infinity mirror? Do you see that?
I see that on your end, but it looks like it's from your screen. Almost.
Oh yeah, like it's coming from my pin. How the hell is that happening?
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
So now it says Robin C. Stern underneath of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I'm not presenting anything. Why is it dropping in like that? Nope, it's still throwing that up there. I'm not sure what the hell's going on with that. Well, that's new.
We just.
It's not coming in from here. Maybe it is coming in.
Let me.
Oh, you know what? I got us flipped. That's what it is. Okay, hang on. Pin me.
Yeah, you're good.
Pin you. You are pinned.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm even doing right now. I'm so lost.
There we go. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, there.
All right, perfect. We're back.
We're back.
That was simple, easy.
So, well, again, we're trying to do here is just be weirdo geeks. So this is like a couple of guys got together in the garage on a Sunday and said, "Hey, could we insert whatever weird techie thing that you wanted to do right here?" And we're trying it, and you're seeing it live. We're just like, we're saying,
Yeah.
Is this possible? We have multiple streaming platforms. We have multiple streaming softwares. We have multiple camera inputs and microphone inputs. And what we're trying to do is take all those and kind of distill out what's the coolest way to do it. Because let's face it, anybody can go on StreamYard and set up a studio and have 3 or 4 people come into a room and hang out and talk like this. Hell, we could just go on Zoom, right? And stream it from Zoom if we wanted to. But we're just trying to be weirdo geeks and see, can we do it for no cost to show our viewers and everybody else this is how you can do stuff. And that's
the possibilities of what's out there, man.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's, this is what is out there, and this is what a lot of people don't have the information on, is that they can actually do it.
Right.
You're seeing the beginning stages of us.
Yep. I'm gonna mess around with everybody. I'm gonna move you over here. I can't move you over there because you're on the other side of your screen. And then move me over here. See, I have myself all, blacked out and cut out so you don't see a background on me. So if I turn that
really
part off.
Really zoomed in right now. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, do the virtual background on Meet. Let me see. Virtual background on Meet.
I got your shoulder.
I see that. Like, what's going on there? Oh, because I've moved over to a different side of the screen.
So,
and now I'm all over you. Yay, what's up, dog? You want some of this? You want some of this? Come on. Let's go. That's some South Park shit right there.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to set this up. Well, it's fun. I mean, I'm having a great time learning the technology of it. The worst, I guess the worst problem is, Kyle, that if it was Friday evening at like 9, we'd be going ballistic with the creativity on it, right? There might be some other beverages and or miscellaneous, edible things that we could be involved in that not necessarily appropriate for a Sunday afternoon at 2:37. So
Sunday afternoons we're trying to chill out, relax.
So maybe so maybe at some point on a Friday night or Saturday night we'll go live and we'll make it it'll be more of a comedy routine than anything else, right? So
yeah, man. And that would be a blast, to be honest. Because I feel like that's one of the big things that keeps people engaged with the educational content, is that a different dynamic.
Well, we're just human. We're just human.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, man.
We're just doing our thing.
Bored otherwise.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. So, what exciting stuff did you get knocked out this week, man? I thought we talked about the workout thing and messing with that, and I got a bunch of shit coming up this week. I got my second edition of the books finally published up on Amazon, but my book coach made a bunch of changes to the cover, and I'm not sure I like them, so I'm a little pissed off about that. But
send them over.
Well, I'm going to post a post today. Y'all will see it come out. So the book has this empty space right here, which is where I decided to put the second edition information. So I put a little gold badge there and I put it up on there. And he said, no, he wanted this part moved over and he wanted it to go right here because you don't put it at the top. But everybody I've showed it to, because now I have a copy of each of the books. I should go grab them. I got a copy of both because with Amazon, you can get proofs done of your book.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've sent in the proof for both and I've gotten the hard copies back. And everybody
Yeah.
I've shown it to, they're like, I like the one with the one at the top, which is the way I wanted it before the book coach changed it. So
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing so far that I'm not going to take his advice on, and I'm going to go ahead and move it back to the top because I think that's where people's eyes see it. And on his, he just wants it to say revised second edition. You know, a little gold badge with the words revised second edition, just 3 even lines. And mine says revised edition, updated content, and it has the word new real big in the center. It's arced over the top and the bottom. So you catch the word new, right? Which I think is, as a marketing guy, that's what I want people to see, that it's new. Now they can see what's it about. Oh, it's got revised content. Oh, it's a second edition. Wow. This guy's, really got something here. He's got to write a second edition of the book. So
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go against it. I'll throw that up on LinkedIn and Facebook this afternoon, just a poll to see how many people, like the different versions of it. So
Yeah, that's my best, option. Whenever I can't really decide on what to do, I always throw it up on a poll and just
I
let
could always fill it through,
speak.
run it through Gemini. Hey, if you were a shopper, age 25 to 40 who owned a small business, which version of this book would you be more likely to pick up?
Yeah, no, that's a perfectly perfect example on how to use it.
Yeah, because it'll go take the data for people that age, right?
Yeah.
I tried to ask it last night. I said, how many authors that wrote a second edition of a book put a label on the cover that said second edition? And that was just way too big a data set for Google to try. I mean, it was like, hey, that's a lot of information. You probably don't want, and there's no way to track that. So it gave me all these excuses as to why it couldn't give it to me. But when you read them, I mean, it made sense. It's like I was asking for the almost undoable, right? So
Yeah, you were asking for something where it's too broad of a kind of, like you said, data set.
Right.
It's too vague, and it's still trying to pick up, examples of tangible answers that it's trying to get back to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Not trying to deceive you unless it doesn't really know.
Right. So let me ask you a question real quick. You're using Google Workspace to get access to Gemini. And I'm not a Google Workspace guy, although I do have Google Workspace because my nonprofit has a nonprofit account with Google, and they give us Google Workspace to use with the nonprofit. And I imagine if I went and dug through there, I could probably find that I have access to all the same stuff. But when you're the admin of a Google Workspace account, I want you to know that is not a small task or endeavor to try and administer a Google Workspace system when you're the admin. Because they have so many pieces. They have like 125 apps that you can turn on and turn off for all the users of your group, right? So the other side of that is I'm being offered right now Gemini Advanced with all the bells and whistles that normally cost $20 a month with your 2 terabytes of storage and everything else. They're offering it to me for $9.99 a month for 2 months. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll just spend $10 a month for a couple months and really, flex it and see what it can do. I'm sure it's worth $5 a month.
Absolutely. Dude, you're talking what, $250 a week?
Yeah, but even after the first
that down
2
even
months,
farther, it's like
it's $5 a week. Like, come on, that doesn't make any sense. So
no, I mean, so like I think we spoke on the call last week about kind of using Google's free stuff as long as you can use Google's free stuff, and while you're still trying to, get your legs about you in the world of Google Workspace. But no, I didn't even purchase it. So whenever I got my Google Pixel, they gave me a year of Gemini Advanced, right? And I will say that it is well worth it. I mean, it remembers profiles that I set up. It remembers, tone of messaging. It's just so much more advanced than the free version that you get. Plus, it remembers all of the information that you feed it. So what I have loved doing with it, my favorite part of being a Gemini Advanced member is saying, hey, this didn't exactly work for me.
Right.
Can we work in another direction? Or that's not the answer that I'm looking for. And I know that that's not the right answer. Remember that for the future.
Right.
And every time it is now storing that information, and it won't spit me back out, that response anymore. So I mean, it's one of those things that it's so worth it just for the idea of actually improving the system that it is. Because every time that I've said, hey, I don't like this style, I don't like this, I don't like this, it remembers that about me. It remembers that about my art style, and then it proceeds to, if I'm generating images, it will produce images that aren't in that art style anymore, and something that are a little bit more aligned with the way that I design and the way that I actually, artistically am.
Got it.
So it's trying to mimic me.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm in here looking now at my admin console for.
Oh God, don't.
And it has a Gemini AI, a generative AI section that has Gemini app, Gemini for Workspace, and Notebook LM all included. And it says it's on for everybody. So I'm going to go to my Gemini now through that account, and it starts off with chat with Gemini. Just immediately jumps right in to chat with Gemini. And I'm just trying to see if I can tell. It's enterprise level, it says. So I even have deep research too. So that gives me access to all of it, I believe. I'll have to play with that and figure out what's going on. Get in-depth answers from deep research. I can't keep up with this, Kyle. I really can't. Yeah. If nothing else, talking to you helps me do that.
And and I was going to say, that's kind of like the biggest thing from these calls that we're doing every week is the meta is constantly evolving and changing. Yeah. Right. And when I speak meta, I'm talking about, the best way to be productive with all of the applications that come out. And, it's not something that one person can keep up with unless that's your full-time job.
Right.
So,
and even then, how many people does Google have working on their AI? I mean, there's probably got tens of thousands of people worldwide they have working on AI stuff. So even if it is your full-time job, you're still only doing one little piece of it that you're,
and you're not knowing what's going on with all the other things inside of Workspace because you're too busy focusing on
Notebook
improvements. And improvements to other apps inside of the Google Workspace area. So it's like,
have you even checked out AI Studio yet?
Oh yeah, dude.
How many conversations have you had with Puck?
Oh, dude. I'll cross-reference Gemini over to Puck quite a few times, just because I like the way that it frames the information a little bit more. It's a little bit more in depth, gives it more in like bullet points,
right?
As opposed to just an actual sentence and paragraph structure,
right?
So whenever it comes down to using Gemini, I'll actually use the two AIs together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Use the two to kind of filter out what it is you're trying to get.
Yeah. So it's like, and if I want to display information in a different style, then I'll just go on over to AI Studio. And another thing that I like about it is that Puck almost seems like the beta version of Gemini, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that that's what it is, but I'm not 100%. So I don't tell everybody that. But
sure.
Yeah, it almost seems like they are giving you those free tokens to use in AI Studio because they are using Puck as the initial model. And then they are taking all the information that they're getting from Puck and moving it on over to Gemini because there were language models that Gemini has now that were in AI Studio before.
Right.
And they just implemented them when they were ready.
They saw what people used and what people liked and what people were interfacing with. And then they pulled those pieces over and then let the other ones go away. Yeah. Kind of like a training ground, testing ground a little bit.
Yep. It's, that's allowing users to, kind of use the newest and latest and greatest version of what they got working with Gemini, kind of ahead of its time.
Right.
So, and that's completely free. That's the crazy part.
Right?
Yes. So you can go in there and you can use 2.0 Flash or experimental, and you're using the newer versions of Gemini that are only available with some of the paid versions of Advanced.
Right.
ahead of the general public. But that's the thing. You're the one that told me about AI Studio. I had no idea. And I've been messing around with AI language models and thought that I was up on the uppity up of, I know all the AI language models. I've tried so many of them, like Perplexity and Copilot, and I've tried ChatGPT, and I've tried Premium ChatGPT. I've tried all these different language models, and I thought, oh, I know what I'm doing. And you're like, have you tried AI Studio?
Or Chat Playground?
I'm like, no. What is AI Studio?
There it is. Thanks, man. You make the old man feel relevant. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Staying on top of some of this stuff.
Game recognizes game, brother.
There you go. Recognize. Woo! Yeah. Now I feel like Wallowitz. What do you got coming up this week? So there's the Tuesday night things. Tuesday night, the KBA After Hours is going to be at the Ace Handyman. The Ace Handyman offices on I think it's on Stylesboro. KBA After Hours. It's 5:00. Live after 5. It's going to be at the Ace Handyman services, 5:30 to 7:30, 5150 Stylesboro Road in Kennesaw. So that's have you met Alicia Tedesco? You'll know her. She's the one that says, we do all the things that you and your honey can't, should, or shouldn't, or can't, won't, or shouldn't do. Right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's a real sweetheart. She's a Spitfire, and she is the owner of the Ace Handyman here in Kennesaw, and it's actually an Ace Hardware company. But But yeah, it's going to be Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday the 18th. So I'm definitely going to that one because I missed it last year. I'm really excited because they always do the March one at her office. I don't know why, but it's a thing. So the March one always gets done at the Ace Handyman offices. She always sponsors it. So there'll be beverages and some munchies and Alicia. Of course, there'll be Alicia, and she's just awesome. So if y'all are hearing this and you want to come hang out with us, it's the Ace Handyman Services at 5150 Stylesboro Road, and they'll have a thing set up in the parking lot and tents and food. And, if you want to go to KBA, which is KennesawBusiness.org, KennesawBusiness.org, or just type in KBA Alive After 5 to Google and go ahead and register so that they know you're coming.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah, no, I'll be there.
I figured you would.
Yeah, man, that's a majority of my weeks anymore, right? Like I, kind of getting into the tech world and everything, and being through all the different companies and everything that I've ran through. Whenever I was in the tech world back when I was a store manager at Sprint, it was the same thing. It was these networking events that you do every single week. You make real connections with real people. And I just feel like the more and more that people are being sold to online, it makes it harder and harder if you're just, sitting inside trying to dump money into Meta ads and Google ads. You got to go out, show face, see these people, and.
Yeah, so Monday afternoon at 3:00, we meet at the police station there at Midway Road and Dallas Highway. That's West Cobb Weekly. So we got the West Cobb and we got Kennesaw this week. We got West Cobb this week. I'll be speaking. I don't know if you want to join in this one, Kyle, but on Wednesday at 2:00, Governor's Gun Club in Kennesaw, KBA has a young professionals group. So I'm going to be mentoring that young professionals group. Taylor Chastain is the kid who's running that from Up and Away Junk Removal, and he approached me. He approached me a couple months ago and said, "Hey, would you want to come in and maybe facilitate or mentor, or just kind of be a conversation starter with us?" And so I'll be there on Wednesday at 2:00. That's for an hour. That should be a pretty good setup there. And then I'm also, let's see, what else do I have going on this week? Is that. The Third Door. We got the Third Door Thursdays at 3:00 every Thursday. Mm-hmm. So if y'all can get there early enough to find a place to park that's not 5 miles away, because trying to get anywhere in downtown Marietta right there, I would suggest parking by Marietta Market and then park crossing the tracks and walking the block and a half over. Makes it easy to get in and out.
Yeah, either there or right there on the square. I found some parking right on the square a couple times.
Yeah, if you get lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on one second for me, all right? What's going on? Hey. to you later.
What do you think, Chad?
All right, so yeah, my son was just in here a second telling me he's going on his motorcycle.
Oh, what a look.
I don't know. Looking at toolbox. He's doing some work on
Okay.
his motorcycle. So
Your camera moved, so I
Did it?
got to figure this out again. Yeah.
what happened?
Hold on.
All I did was shut
Oh.
me down and shut me back on.
Yeah, but everything moved, so we'll see how
Is that better?
it looks. Yeah. Yeah, it works out. I just gotta resize now.
I'm looking at OBS to see my output to my customers. So I got you in one side and me on the other. And the problem is you're kind of facing away from me, but that's all right. I'm okay with that.
I know we gotta figure it. I don't
Figure it
know
out.
why it's mirrored whenever you have everything set up your way. So it's an interesting little.
I'm sure there's a mirror my thing somewhere here. Change layout. Oh, I can change the layout. I can sidebar. I can spotlight. Oh, okay. There we go. Spotlight just you. Aha. If I spotlight just you,
Okay.
and then
That's
I
interesting.
drag you over. Aha. There. Now I can have you there. And I can have me
Okay.
over here. Ah, now we're facing each other.
That's all just a work in progress. It's so awesome,
Look,
though.
we're just having a good time. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
no, the fact that we're doing this is great.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm interested to see what that looks like by the time it gets to LinkedIn. It's just our studio. That's all, guys. It's just our studio, right? That's it.
yeah, you're kind of hanging off the screen now.
Am I?
So yeah,
I'm not looking at your LinkedIn. Where are you streaming it at? On Twitch or just?
yeah, I'm on Twitch right now.
Yeah, if I go to Twitch, that blows everything up. If I click on your Twitch, it just goes. Just
You've lost your wallpaper and you're kind of sitting.
yeah, I'm just sitting in the black. I'm just sitting in
Yeah.
the black.
Yeah, I mean that works, right?
Well, I guess I could put my wallpaper back on, except I have you. Let's see, center monitor above that console. I have it on. I don't know why
Now
I'm
it looks
sitting-
like you're sitting on my lap. It's kind of weird.
Here, move you over a little more. There you go. How's that? Sitting on your lap. I'll move me back over there. Is that better?
Yeah, yeah.
A little cozy. There. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. You know, a couple programs are going to be. Hey, there's going to be some clips in here, though. I'll tell you that right now.
There's going to be some damn good clips in here, man. This is again, 5 years from now, when we're paying somebody to do this in the background, and we're just sitting in a studio talking instead of just dicking around on this free stuff. We're gonna be like, man, remember those days? Somebody's gonna pull these out and go, look, I found this shit of you guys 5 years ago on YouTube. Check this out.
That's going to be awesome. But that's how they all start every time.
Exactly.
So, they started. That was the big thing.
Whoa, there we go.
Now you're infinity mirrored, but no, that was kind of touching base back on where we started the conversation was starting. Right.
Just get started.
Like if you've got an idea and you think, hey, this might work, try,
Do it.
post, see what happens. Right.
Unpin. There we go. All right, there we go. I've unpinned. That's better. Now you're all jacked up. It's just good stuff, man. I'm just having a good time playing with it. I'm enjoying seeing what it does and how to do it and how we work with it. So that works a little bit there, I think.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah. No, that works perfect.
All right.
That is sweet. We are rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sitting facing each other now.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. So what else are we
No.
going to talk about today before we go off to enjoy the rest of our Sunday afternoons? I know we had some other content we wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
Tell me about your golfing shit, dude. Like, let's discuss that. I don't think anybody knows that you did this golfing thing.
Yeah, man. So back when I was 15, I was a baseball player, and I said to my dad, Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore. Right before I turned 16. And I said, I want to play golf. Um, and
This guy,
I just, yeah,
that guy
yeah.
right there.
So I just went crazy with it, right? Like it became it became my life. And I use that story so much to tell so many people about what's really possible
Right.
because people struggle with possibilities of oh, I'm not going to make it. I'm not good enough. This, that, and the third. I was not good for a long time, but I started when I was 16. I said, I'm going to take this serious. I'm going to go play pro.
There he is.
Yeah, back in high school.
There he is. My boy.
So
Heck yeah, you're all over the place. You're celebrity, actually.
I was, I was back in the day. Yeah, man. So I poured my soul into it. It was one of those things that I did every single day. And I did for 5 to 7 hours. And then when I wasn't playing and I wasn't practicing, I studied. I read books on it. I watched the
I watched the
greats.
PGA.
Yeah, I watched the greats. I wouldn't even watch PGA events. I'd watch Tiger. I'd watch Rory. I'd watch
Historical
him swing
PGA
golf
stuff.
club. Yeah. And I go back and watch YouTube, but YouTube was and still is the way that I have self-taught myself a lot of
Right.
things. Like people always ask me, how do you have so much information? I'm like, YouTube University, man.
Yeah.
Like you can learn things from, you can learn a sport, you can learn kind of anything and everything you want um, for free. And you're not going to start off asking the right questions, but eventually you'll start asking the right questions. And once you start asking the right questions, you'll get better results.
Right.
Um, when I was trying to create, whenever I was trying to be a golfer, I would slowly get better and better results. And then I would just copy the things I saw on YouTube videos. The way that I got better at the game. So on a YouTube video, if you draw this line and you draw this line on a golf swing, that's what it's supposed to look like. So I just downloaded the software and I drew a line, and I'd watch it in slow motion. Okay. It needs to do this. I need to be higher. I need to be lower.
Right.
And it was just I was always studying. Always studying. And in 4 years, I was able to win a college golf tournament, countless number of, awards for everything. The only thing I lost out on was player of the year. And then, yeah, I tore my rotator cuff. That guy was lucky. I tore my rotator cuff playing softball.
Wow.
And I only lost by a stroke. So it was just one of those things, but it led me to where I was today, right? I had this insane work ethic and I used it and and then I had big dreams and goals and I never made it pro, but I wanted to be pro whenever I was young. So it got me to where I got to,
Gotcha.
just having those goals. Aim for the stars, shoot for the moon, that kind of mentality.
Right.
And it just teaches you so much too. I love the game of golf just mainly because of all of the knowledge it teaches you. It teaches you patience and resilience and determination.
Frustration.
Yeah, frustration is
And how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? How to work through it. How to use it to your benefit. Right? How to feed the fire with the frustration.
And when you get good, I tell people this all the time. When you get so good, you realize that it's all in your head. You see everything in your head before it ever happens. So you just translate that to life, man. And it's like that kind of translation in life is, that if you can see it in your head, you can try to recreate it. And you're not always going to get, whatever you drew up, but there's going to be one time out of 10 that you're going to hit and you're going to go, oh,
yeah,
I drew that up. That happened the exact way that I saw it.
And you know what? I was watching the third round yesterday, and they're at Sawgrass this weekend. And I actually was a caddy. Well, not a caddy. I was a cart boy at the TPC Sawgrass one year when I was like 15 or 16 years old. I remember I wasn't 18 yet because my brother was the food and beverage manager at the clubhouse. And I was spending the summer with him and his wife. And he let me come in and work one day. I think it was Sunday. So at first I worked in the restaurant and I was serving I served Arnold Palmer, I served Tom Kite, I served all these boys. They're just sitting there shooting the crap, having breakfast before the tournament. And I'm in there just giddy like a freaking fangirl, losing my mind. And I wasn't a big golfer back then, but I knew who they were. And then I
Yeah.
got to drive a cart, and I got to drive to fill up all the tents, the alcohol and the food and snacks and all the tents. And so I was out driving around the course all afternoon in a golf cart, just delivering food and drinks from the clubhouse out to the beverage and the courtesy tents that they had set up for all the players. And I'll tell you what, that 17th hole, there's water all the way down the left-hand side of that 17th hole. I mean, it's a lake the whole
Yeah.
way down, right? And
Mhm.
I saw it in the last round of players. One of the kids got up and he drove that thing with everything he had, and he didn't see it because it wound up going way too straight. And as the greens curve, he wound up going into the pine straw off the right hand side because he didn't get enough of the pull to the left, right? But
Yeah.
the next guy got up, and you just could tell he mapped it because when he smacked that thing, it matched the curve of the green right along the lake, and he wound up. I mean, he was poised
Yeah.
for his second shot to be on the green close to the hole. And so yeah, when you say you just watched it and you mapped it, there's all kinds of simulators you can use. There's all kinds of professionals you can hire that have tens of thousands of dollars worth of software that can do all this, or you can watch it on YouTube and
Yeah.
gut out, the actual mathematical functions to make it happen, and then go and apply that shit. And
Yeah.
that's the kind of person that doesn't have to have the golden spoon put in their mouth. That's the kind of person when they get there, they go, I got here. It wasn't my
Yeah.
mom got me here, my dad got me here, $1 million worth of training got me here. I got me
Yeah.
here, right? I think in
Yeah, man.
Tiger Woods, they used to have a commercial. I think it was an American Express commercial when Tiger Woods was really big. And it shows a
Yeah.
guy with a bucket of balls and a club in his hand. He's walking out in the dark and the rain. And he walks out to the green, and he walks up on the green, and all around him is like palmetto bush and rough. And you think he's going to dump the balls on the green and start putting, and he just slings the whole bucket of balls out into the rough and the palmetto bushes around him, and then pulls out his wedge and walks off the green and starts chipping them up onto the freaking green out of the rough, right? It's like that's how you learn how to do it, is you go get the hardest possible thing you can think of to do and then master that shit. And
Yeah.
I think that's, when you say that you just went and mapped it out and figured out the angles, laid those lines over video of you doing it to see what you were doing wrong, and then you could go back and adjust it to match those lines.
Yeah.
Simple.
But I mean, it was, one, it was just awareness of where I was at, right?
Right.
Like, so I always reviewed myself and always reviewed where my strategy led me wrong and things like that in tournaments. And, you're always analyzing kind of your position in life, but at the same time, you're analyzing what the greats do. You're analyzing what people in your industry do really, really well.
Right.
And then you're constantly trying to evolve with just new books, new knowledge, things of that nature. Yeah. Um, and then, sometimes it is just strategy. Sometimes you just have a bad day. Being a golfer, you learn that some days you're not going to do anything right, not one single thing. And you're going to go, it'd be best if I was in bed, but
Yep.
it's not best that you're in bed because
Yep.
you're out there. And now maybe you have a little bit more mental resilience because you just went through a day where you couldn't even, put your shoe in front of the next shoe. You're falling down the fairway trying to walk to your next shot. Like
But you knocked it out. You went and did it.
that's the thing you learn though, no matter how bad it is, it's something that you're going to do. Right.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you, I had enough of those days like that. Just recently, I was supposed to go for just a quick trip down to Tampa. It was a really cheap plane flight. I never park at the Atlanta airport. I always park off airport, and my wife and I, whenever we're going somewhere, we park at one of the off airport parking spaces. They take you right to the door, so you don't have to worry about it. And I thought,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be gone for 8 hours. I'll just park at the airport. It's no big deal. Holy mackerel, dude. I want you to know I got to Atlanta airport 2.5 hours before my flight. And
Yeah.
like 30 minutes before the flight, I was still circling the garage trying to find a spot to park. And
Oh
I
my
just threw my hands up in the air and I said, you know what? I got up today. There you go.
Yeah.
And I just turned my car around and I headed back home, and I didn't go to Tampa. I had to call them and say, hey, I'm not going to be there. It wasn't anything special. It was just something I was going to do because of the cheap plane flight. So, and I didn't let it bug me. I just figured I was better off now that I know anytime I have to get on a plane in Atlanta, I'm parking my damn car in the parking garage off the airport and riding the little bus to the departure store. Like, let's
Exactly.
live
But
and
you
learn,
know, you
baby.
got up and you still learned, and then you were able to analyze what you learned and, kind of make a prediction for what you can do in the future.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, man, that was,
It's
dude,
just the way you got
and
to
that's
be
what it's all
sometimes.
about.
I could have walked around, pissed off about it all day. But you know what I did? My wife wasn't expecting me to be home from dinner because I wasn't going to get home till like 1 in the morning from that event after flying back from Tampa. And so I came home and I cleaned the house. I took out all the garbage. I think I even, did a load of laundry and I cooked a great dinner. And she came home from work. She's like, "What the heck is this? You're not even supposed to be here." And all this stuff got done. I said, "I know. Since I wasn't supposed to be here, I did all these things that I normally wouldn't have had time to do. I just went ahead and did
Yeah.
them because I wasn't supposed to be here anyway." So I took advantage of it. I scored brownie points with my wife and made her feel good. I got things done around my house. I had a great dinner. So, that didn't suck. So, yeah, don't always think that the thing that stops you is the problem. Don't always
Yeah.
think that that's, look for the silver lining, I guess is what we're kind of trying to say here today, right? Just look for the silver
Yeah.
lining.
And I mean, I had to, and sometimes it'll take time to find that silver lining, right?
Mm,
Because the way that I ended up actually stopping golf was a random car accident. I ran out of money, couldn't work, couldn't make any more money. Now I'm out of it. And I was like, wow, that was what I really wanted to do in life, right?
right.
And fast forward 6 years, and I've got two startups, one acquisition under my belt. I'm helping businesses kind of understand where they are and strategize, and like you realize, like, at the end of the day, that's not always the most important thing. Now I'm helping other people, kind of strategize their life.
There you
So
go.
it's, you know, it was a lot of work and it was a lot of, like spending time doing it, but it all works out in the end, right? You just gotta kind of work through it.
Got to be
Not let it get to you.
looking for the silver lining. Always got to be
Yeah,
looking for the
always,
silver lining.
always. And
Yeah,
your
because
mentality is the number one. It's the number one key aspect in life, right?
yeah,
Like
it's always had space. Always had space.
why does this always happen to me? Like I used to be there, man.
Yeah,
Like I used to, why me? Why me?
yeah,
And then I started going, why not me?
yeah, yeah.
Right? Why not me? Like I got this. This is nothing.
Well,
And you
I think one
start,
of the things that right along those lines is it's not this happened to me, it's this happened for me,
yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
what am I going to take positive out of this? Not what did I lose out on, right?
Yeah,
Always, always. Because I think we get in our headspace what we think our specific expectations are for it to be perfect. And if it doesn't line up with that, then we kick ourselves in the ass and we feel like it was a failure or we feel like we didn't get the maximum benefit. When in reality, you probably got exactly what you needed if you just stopped focusing on something that's unachievable, right? Because that's what we all do. Utopia is what we all want. That's where we're all. I want the utopian outcome, and it's like, no. You're going to get the dystopian outcome.
yeah,
But if you understand how to adjust your expectations to that, then you can say, "Oh, wow, I did actually do this, and this. Just the one thing that I was really hoping for didn't happen. Well, I still got 4 out of those 5 accomplished. So, having a different perspective of it is definitely a good way to go about it. So,
yeah. And I tell a lot of people a lot of time, kind of tying in with that. Um, you got to just kind of not get rid of your plan, not get rid of your vision, but get rid of your expectations.
there
Expect
it
nothing.
is. Yep.
Because when you're expecting something, you've closed the door on things that you haven't expected. And
Right.
then all of a sudden now you're like, well, I expect, okay, so for example, if you go to a meeting, I expect X, Y, and Z out of this meeting. I expect to meet this person, and this person, but the guy comes up to you that can really help you. And you're like, sorry, man, I ain't got time for you today.
Right. Right.
And you've shut the door on them, but God knows maybe they were an investor in your business. And you don't even know because you've already expected X, Y, and Z from person, A, B, and C. And then, then you're mad going home later that night because
Yeah.
A, B, and C
The
didn't
meeting
give
was a
you what you
failure.
expected. Yeah.
Right.
But the guy that could have helped you,
You
you
blew him off.
closed the door on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a beautiful way of saying that, Kyle, that we need to stay open and we need to stay expectant for the possibilities, not locked into our expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So I got my event coming up in a month and a little bit, and that's gonna should go pretty well. I let everybody know that we do have all of the pages are up, so it's all at yourgoogle.guru. If you want to be a team member and you want to come help out, bring people, go to team.yourgoogle.guru. If you want to be a vendor and you want to secure a table for the event, it's going to be kind of a biz expo as well. Go to vendors.yourgoogle.guru. If you want to sign up for the event, buy a ticket. Live streams $10, general admissions 27, and VIP ticket is 100. You can go to events.yourgoogle.guru. So another way that we're using the same domain to give us multiple landing pages to draw the brand recognition and continue to build on that. Those are all set up and running. If you do sign up, I'd love to chat with you. You'll get some text messages. Answer a text message, and I'll shout back at you. That would be on May 1st. Now, don't forget though, on April 3rd, I believe it is April 3rd, I am speaking at the Georgia Greystone Power Luncheon. Used to be the Georgia Power Luncheon, but now it's the Greystone Power Luncheon, which is at the Greystone corporate headquarters on 92, south of Hiram. If you hit 92 and go south, if you're going to Douglasville, you'll see this humongous building off on your right-hand side. And get registered for that at the Paulding Chamber. Come out and learn a little bit about what's going on with Google. It'll be a snapshot of what I'm actually going to be speaking on and teaching on at the Biz Expo and the book signing. So that'll be a nice little teaser for that. So that's on April 3rd at Greystone Power Lunch, pauldingchamber.org. And then May 1st will be at the Governor's Gun Club in Kennesaw, and that's events.yourgoogle.guru. What else you got coming up, brother?
I'm going to be speaking at a Ackworth networking event on April 6th. Going to be talking to business owners a little bit about my life and fear, how it holds us back as we try to expand.
Not April 6th.
Or April 9th. April 9th.
6th is a Sunday.
I'm so sorry. Yep, I got.
Oh, you'll be at Ackworth Connections on April 9th?
What's that?
You'll be at Ackworth Connections?
Ackworth Connections, yep.
It's a good one. Bob Brooks is a good guy, man.
He's a great guy, man. And
it's a great meeting too.
I can't speak more highly than he has been so nice since I joined that group, and you actually introduced me there. So yeah, and I'm trying to help them kind of with those businesses that are showing up on a week-to-week basis. Just trying to give them more information.
So that's at Center Street Tavern in Ackworth. It's called Ackworth Connections. If you guys are interested in showing up, I'm going to tell you they got one of the best cheeseburgers. And pretty much all the food there is awesome, but their cheeseburgers kick ass. And you want to get there before 11:30. Now, I showed up at 11:25 last week when I went. I got there. No, I'm sorry. I got there about 11. No, it was 11:25 when I walked in the door. There was already 30 people in the room. The meeting doesn't start until 12.
Yep.
So if you want to get there and have a seat and get some food ordered, you want to show up, just after 11, 11:15, 11:30, get your food order in, and do some networking. There was 50 people in the room last Wednesday, so definitely go and enjoy that. It's good stuff. Yep. I'll be there for that one.
Before,
support my
people. But yeah, just trying to, kind of speak to people about, kind of expansion and, that fear that holds us back, kind of expand their mind a little bit.
So that's what you're going to be talking about is mindset and stuff?
Mindset, yep.
All right.
And then,
You heard it here first, folks, on Tech Talk Sunday. Kyle Kearns speaking on 9th of April at Ackworth Connections, Center Street Tavern. 11:30 is lunch, and 12 to 1 is the meeting. Bring your best 60-second pitch. We need to talk about that too before we jump off today. I'd like to go into a little bit, being a marketing guy and a salesperson and a very extroverted individual. I have no problem talking to people, but making those words valuable so that they help convey the message I'm trying to convey, and not just have vomiting all over somebody when you meet them. I think that I'm finding more and more is a lot of business owners are really excited about what they're doing, but can't they really can't converse that. It doesn't
Mhm.
they don't know what to do when they first meet somebody and explain how they do it. Right. I went to a
Yeah.
meeting last week on I think it was Thursday. We had one over here at the brewery, and I had some guys come up to me and go, "Hey, what do you do?" Because that's what everybody asks, right? "Hey, I'm Bill. What do you do?" Um, so, what do you say when somebody asks you that, Kyle? You're at a networking group.
I,
They say, "What do you do?"
I tell them who I am, man. I just go, yeah, I'm in fashion and tech. I started in fashion, and I built a vertical. Took all the most expensive things and things that I had, studied while building my first collection. Built a vertical out of it. So I'm in tech as well. Normally they ask me, "What do you mean by I'm in tech?"
Right.
And yeah, that's where I'll kind of expand upon it there. But really, I just tell them, real quick, man, I am in fashion and tech. So if, I don't try to bore you with 30 to 60 seconds of anything. Like,
Right.
this is what I'm in. This is my life. That's what I do.
Well, so
So
I like that you break it up like that and you give people something to make them curious. I spoke with a guy recently about LinkedIn and your little squib that not you particularly, all of us,
yeah.
what we put under our name. Anytime you comment, post, or share or repost something, that shows up and people see just that
Mhm.
one little sentence. And so this guy was like, "Don't just repeat to me what you do. I mean, it says that on your profile. I don't need that. Just make it say something that makes people curious to connect with you."
Yeah.
So, mine was like teaching business owners how to master the Googleverse. He's like, "You're the Google guru. We know that already. Why do we need to know that?" So I changed it about 3 times, and I finally got it to teaching business owners how to tame the 800-pound gorilla. Oh, now that makes me go, what is that? How is
What
he
does
going
that
to,
mean?
right?
Yeah.
Well, in the tech world, we call Google the 800-pound gorilla, right?
Ah,
So knowing how to do marketing and online marketing and mastering Google is kind of taming the 800-pound gorilla. I think that that's a big piece of it. Um, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this. I go to a lot of networking meetings, and everybody hands you a business card, right? You get business cards handed to you all day long. I have them all over my desk here,
oh,
right?
oh,
Oh yeah, you're gonna
oh,
pull out a
do
stack
they?
of them for me.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. They do.
How
And
about how about a spread? You
and
want a spread?
pick a card, any card. Yeah, and so sometimes this gets lost in the mix, and but you're giving me all your information. I have it. I don't have to hear it from you again. This
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to get to. I think that as business owners, we don't prepare enough of how to initially connect with somebody new. We just want to keep vomiting out our business card. And I'll give you an example. We have a big meeting every month at the Paulding County Chamber of Commerce. It's called First Friday Vibes. 60, 70 people in the room. I think we had almost 80 on January. And when you get there, you give them 2 of your business cards when you check in. And one of those is used for the drawing and the door prizes. And they put your name on a spreadsheet, first name, last name, business name, and a blank for people to fill in notes. Now, during the meeting, they take that list and they go make a copy for everybody in the room. So you're getting a copy, and that's the order we go in when we get to our commercials. And you get a 30-second commercial only because there's so many people. We can't do a minute because we'd be there too long.
Yeah.
So you got 30 seconds to get your point across in a room with 60 people. And your name and your business name is in front of them when you stand up. What is the first thing every single person says when they get up? "Hi, I'm
Hi,
Bill
I'm
Smith,
Kyle from Metro.
and this is the name of my company." And you just wasted 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds of
Yeah.
time that you could have used to make an impression. Now, I really want people to think about this. What you do isn't fashion and tech. What you do is understand how business owners can take failure and turn it into success, right? Now,
Yeah.
If you say that, showing business owners how to turn failure into success, your story, your golf thing, your torn rotator cuff, the car accident, the running out, all of it makes you the expert in turning failure into success. And we've all had failures and we all want success. So do you see how instead of jumping up and saying, hey, I'm Kyle Kearns with Cadexo, right? Instead, you jump up and you say, hey, I want to show you how to take a torn rotator cuff in a really bad car accident and turn it into being the head of a fashion company in the tech space, right? Now you got my attention and now you didn't waste any money. And then at the end you say, I'm Kyle Kearns with Cadexo Sites. There you go. We've changed completely. You're not shoving your business card back in my face again. Because here's the flip side. The flip side of that whole chamber meeting, they scan all the business cards and send us a copy of the scanned business cards. So I don't even have to write down your contact information. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just be present in the meeting, knowing that if I hear something that really makes sense, I'll make a note next to your name to follow up. But I can just enjoy it. And then when I get up, now I've been doing this a long time. And you've seen me do this. And I actually went out and bought myself a little JBL speaker. Because I start my 60 seconds, my 30 seconds always with music. I have some song that is absolutely, everybody knows it. Everybody hears it and it stops them from what they're doing. It disrupts their brain for a minute because they're expecting me to get up and start talking and they hear music instead. So they shut up to hear what the song is. And now I've disrupted them and now they're focused on me. And I don't say I'm Robin C. Stern, your Google guru. I say, do you know how marketing is just the thing we all love to do and it makes us full of joy and happiness to have to learn how to figure out Facebook and Google ads? And they all go, no, I don't. I hate that. I don't know what you're talking about. And yeah, neither do I. And that's why I want to show you how to master the 800-pound gorilla. My name's Robin C. Stern, your Google guru. And I sit down.
Yeah.
And half the room reaches out to me before the end of the meeting.
And I mean, you showed me, last week we were at the Ackworth Connections and, and every single person starts the same exact way. Hi, my name is, Kyle and I'm with Cadexo Sites. And then they start going into what they actually do. And, for example, I even told you after watching you last week, I'm like, dude, I'm just vomiting information at everybody. And they're overwhelmed because once you hear digital, you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Then you hear website design, brand development, brand strategy, and then you hear, the two other services I've offered. Now you're just like, oh, sweet Jesus. Like, I don't even know what to process from that.
Right.
That I was just, and everybody does the same exact thing. And I told you this last week at the event. I go, I have been thinking for months on how to make it more entertaining, how to, consolidate everything. And you just did it. Showed up. Hey, everybody.
Pick one thing that business owners hate that you love, right? Yeah. And talk about that. Like, I love showing you how to master the algorithm. I love showing you how to see your business the way Google sees it and how you can just make small changes to make Google's algorithm want to put you in front of more people. I love that. Most people hate that shit. Let's face it, right? It makes them cringe, makes their skin crawl when they think about it. So that's my selling point. I'll do the shit you hate to do, but I'll show you how to do it so you don't hate it so much. Yeah. And that's what I think I was trying to get through to you last week was find the thing that business owners hate to do, and then tell them why you're the person to do it for them because you love it so much. You're going to be off the chart getting it done.
Yeah. And that's the thing though, that I feel like a lot of business owners could actually take from this is that instead of just straight vomiting information, come up with something catchy, something quick, and just, if people want to find you, they'll find you.
Yep.
From just a 5-second blurb,
Well, we got some cool ideas.
A little bit less about the services and more about the experience, right?
Right.
Or
that's it.
The experience that you offer. right? So the services don't matter. I learned this in the fashion industry. It doesn't matter how good something is. It is the experience that goes along with the luxury name. And without that experience, your products don't mean anything.
Yeah, they hold no water. They hold no water. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, it really boils down to kind of finding that thing that makes it stick out. And we know that. Look at any advertising and marketing that you can remember from a kid. Now, here's one. Here's one. I said this the other day, and then I thought about it. I'm trying to figure out a way to come up with a ditty like this um, for my computer store. Right? We used to have one. You're probably too young to remember this, Kyle, but there was a home shopping network infomercial for Ron Popeil, and he had a tabletop convection oven. And you put your food in there, and he had a cooking thing, like a demonstration, and you would be there, and they had the aprons on, and he would, put the spices on a chicken and stick it through the rotisserie thing and put it in the oven. He says, and then you set it, and the whole audience says, and forget it. And that was a big thing, right? And there's a flooring company that still uses their ditty, their little spiel, and it was 800-588-2300 Empire, right? You freaking remember
Today.
that? That's from 40 years ago, dude.
The amount of times that I woke up at 3 a.m. and that's playing.
So it's those memorable taglines that people, it
J.G.
sticks in their
Wentworth.
belly, right? And that's a company that's probably 50 years old. Empire Flooring, they've been using that number since, that little ditty, since I can't even tell you when. But
It's my money and I need it now.
right.
Like, come on.
There it is.
It's my money and I need it now.
Yep. The Kool-Aid. Oh yeah. Right?
Yeah. Wasn't about the product at all. It had nothing to do with, oh, you're drinking flavored sugar water.
Yeah.
It was, oh yeah.
Yeah, this big colorful pitcher full of liquid busting a hole in the wall. He's so iconic, he's on The Simpsons now and freaking Family Guy, right? They use the Kool-Aid guy in all the cartoons now. It's always some sort of really heinous way of displaying him, but I love it. It's like bringing back our memories. That's what we need to find for our businesses, is that little tagline, that little niche, that little thing. And then we need to be like Frank's hot sauce and use that shit on everything, right?
Yeah.
Hashtags. I changed one of the chapters in the back of my new edition of my book. I have these little bonuses in the back. There's like worksheets and things, like bonus pages in the back. And one of them that was all about like acronyms that we use on the internet. It was 50 acronyms used on Google and on online. I took that out and I added in hashtagging your ass off, because if you learn how to use hashtags as an aggregator, not to join a bigger group, but to separate yourself from the group, to aggregate all your content under one hashtag, that's very powerful. So on that chamber thing, it's Robin Stern and then hashtag your Google Guru. I didn't have him put a company name. I just had him put hashtag your Google Guru. Google that shit. Google it right now and see what you get.
A lot of people don't realize, though, is that whenever they look at a hashtag, a lot of people aren't understanding the search engine optimizations aspect of it. It is a keyword.
Right.
What keyword do you want? Right? Don't pick something like Tuesdays, 3 billion posts.
Right.
like that is the worst thing. What are you doing on a Tuesday?
Right. Right.
And I bet you'll find a hashtag that's already created. It's got 30,000 posts in it. And you might actually get some organic content from people that are just like you.
There you go. There you go. All right. So one more thing I want to comment on before I'm done. And then I have to go I have to go post on my Google pages too. So I'll do that individually after we're done. But I really want people to kind of grasp this idea of, oh shit, where was I going with that? I just completely lost my mind there. Consistency in posting is something I really want to push out there to people and help them understand that. But this kind of stuff, just getting your expertise in front of your constituents, in front of your potential clients, and then being consistent with it. We have a guy that owns a printer place. They do printer toner and stuff and cartridges. And he would get up, and he's from Venezuela, and he's an older gentleman. He's in his 70s. Very thick Venezuelan accent, so he's hard to understand sometimes. I can understand him. I've been listening to him for 15 years. But
Yeah.
he would say at the end of all of his stuff, if you think it, and the rest of the tagline is, we can ink it. But after a year of saying it, everybody else in the room would finish his sentence for him. That's powerful marketing. When people remember your tagline and finish your sentence for you, then you know you're getting somewhere with it. So that's what I would challenge everybody listening today, or anybody listens to this after this. Go find your niche. Come up with something creative, some way to distinguish yourself from the crowd. If you have any questions, put it in this chat. Put it on this post. We'll see it. We'll respond to you. We'll reach out. If there's anything we can do to help, let us know. That's what we're here for. And if we wind up working together, great. If we don't, hey, if I can help you out and you can help me build my brand by telling somebody else about me, we've had a good transaction as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, I feel like that's another thing that, small businesses, don't focus on enough, are those genuine connections. Where it's like, hey, I might just be able to help you find somebody. And then all of a sudden, 5 years down the road, you're talking about, oh, well, Robin was so nice from I Love My Geek. He just gave me all this information and pointed me where to go. Right. And it made my life so much easier.
That's exactly right. And I see that over and over again, that businesses aren't open to that. I had to ship a package to Charlotte, send a computer. I have some friends that do a live every Monday morning, or every weekday morning at 9 o'clock. And they're up in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm their first Monday of the month. I come on and I go live with them on the first Monday of the month on their Facebook page. And they were talking the other day about needing a computer. And I said, well, I own a computer business. What do you need? And I just, out of the blue, I said, what do you need? What do you got to spend? Let me help you out. I had a computer sitting here that used to be my desktop computer, but it's a laptop. Super powerful, big screen, a lot of memory, video card, touch screen, the whole thing. I haven't used it since I got this new setup. I have a studio setup now here with it's probably 100 times more computer than that laptop was, but that laptop's 100 times more computers than most laptops are. Yeah. So I asked them if that would fit their need. They said yes. So I boxed it all up. I own a computer store. We have all the shipping stuff and the bubble stuff, and I boxed it all up. I got their information from them for their address. And around the corner from us in the little grocery store shopping center, there's a pack and post place. So I shot over there. Now, these people, 2 years ago, I tried to talk to them about their Google page. And I said, guys, number one, you're not posting enough, right? And number two, when somebody leaves you an ugly review, you're ugly back to them publicly.
Yeah.
You can't stay in business like that, ever. You just can't do it. People read that. They will not come to your place of business if you do that. We know what we're doing. They didn't want to listen. I used them a few times. The employees always been nice to me. I've never had any problem with them there. So I take my box, I go into the place, I walk around. They're gone. They're closed, right? Another one that comes to mind when I think about this, listening to the people around you. Right. Listening to the people around you. And I did a post on this where I have a company that I was doing business with. I go to their Facebook page, shows they're permanently closed. And right below where it says they're permanently closed, it had their email address still. And they were a company doing business, and they had a Gmail email address. And I actually took a screenshot of that, and I scratched out the name of the company, and I said, friends don't let friends use free email for business, right? Because if they would have just listened and said, maybe that wouldn't have changed anything, but maybe that's what created the problem in the first place. That caused people to see them as less than a professional business, so they didn't come and use them. And that's the same thing about this pack and ship place. Like, I tried to give you free advice. I tried to just be a good guy, but because you're so suspicious of everybody, because you think you know everything, you won't even try and implement some of the free advice that that trusted, vetted, experienced business owners are doing. I didn't ask you for money. I just said, hey, just do this a little differently. And they couldn't. And they wound up going out of business. I preach all day long, use a branded email address with your business. You can use a Gmail address behind the scenes. If you have internal communications, you want to use the calendar and the phone system and everything, get a Gmail address for your company. We've been using one for 15 years. But that's not what you see when we email you. And that's not what you see when you email us. It's for our own internal use. So just remember that, guys. When somebody's offering,
and the great thing,
go ahead.
And the great thing about that, talking about it earlier with Workspace and everything, you can use one account to create multiple different aliases across multiple different businesses.
Right.
And you can, it's all free once you pay that little setup fee, but you can create an info and careers and all of these different branded things around your company.
Right.
And then if you don't even know the company, I'm the type of person, I don't know the company. Half the time I'm Googling going, well, there's the domain. I can find the domain now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And they'll have
now they have more traffic to their website.
And they'll either have the domain and then they'll have a Gmail email address, or you look up the domain from their email address and there's no website. And it's like, wait, you own the domain. Why don't you have an email address, a website now? It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that I'm sure some of our listeners are going, man, I think I do that. And some of them are going, what the hell are they talking about? Right? So, folks, if this is giving any curiosity to you at all, just reach out to us. We're both very willing to chat with you. We told you where we're going to be all this week, where we're going to be Tuesday night, where we're going to be Wednesday for lunch, where we're going to be Thursday afternoon. Like, just come and hang out and ask your questions, and let's see if we can help you. Our job is to make the world a better place. All right, and that's what I'm here to do. And
but
I appreciate you hanging
out. Before we get too ADHD, speaking back on what you were saying about consistent posts, that's, I feel like, something that brand owners again aren't doing enough, whether it's on their Google business profile or anything. And there are scheduling tools on almost all of these platforms where you can set up your entire week. And it'll take you, it might take you an hour or 2 hours on a Sunday where you're trying to relax to schedule out your post for the next week. But what it will do is that algorithm will start pushing you towards the top, just like Google will.
That's right.
And then all of that information, now you can be cross-referenced through Google because of all of the information you're putting out. And, it's like writing a book, right? Like if Google's looking at your book and it's 1 page long, there's not much to show to other people.
No.
But if Google looks at your book and it's 20 pages, 30 pages long, now they have information they can give, whether it's a shopping result, whether it's an image result, whether it's, anything along those lines. So it all helps.
Exactly. So
consistency.
I think that's the word of the week. It's consistency. And
consistency.
Consistency, and the only other thing I would add to that is being the solution. Like have the solution that people need, right? And be a little bit generous with it, and watch what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. My dogs want to walk.
This was great, Robin.
Yeah. I think we got it together a little better, and
a little bit longer than I think we had projected, but
you know what? I think our audio was a little bit better this week. We'll get you a green screen, and maybe we'll figure out how to put us both on the screen a little better with a similar background. And like you said, live and learn, and just start doing it. Gary Vee said, just get started. Don't stick around. Walt Disney said the first way to get to a thing is to start doing it. And I'm not supposed to be quoting Walt Disney anymore because I understand there's something came up about him in his past, and it's been blown out of proportion. Yeah. Look it up if you're interested. I wasn't, but I had a quote from him in my book that I had to change because my book coach was like, 10 years from now, if he comes out that this is a big problem, you don't want to be connected to him. So I put in Lao Tzu, which is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, right? So just get started, people. Just get freaking started. You got a
Exactly.
loved one you haven't talked to in 6 months, call them. You got social media you haven't posted on in 3 months, go post something. Hell, just start your first post by saying, I've been really stupid for not posting in the last 3 months, right? Like, just get started.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now. We're just getting started. We're just putting it out there and letting people see it, letting the algorithm index us.
Oh,
Just get started.
and as we're just getting started. Yeah.
That's it. All right, brother.
Yeah.
Hope you
No,
have a
that's a
great
great
rest of
way
your
to end it.
afternoon. Hopefully, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see
Yeah.
you one day this week soon. All right.
Yeah, I'll see you Tuesday. So
All right.
we'll,
Remember,
we'll
West Cobb
connect
Weekly,
then.
3:00 at the
All right.
police station tomorrow.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Peace out, man.
Thanks, sir.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Take care.
Great talking to you.
You too, man. Bye. There you go, folks. That's how we do it. Totally 100% all about coming on, making it happen, and helping people make the world a better place. So now I can rearrange my whole world here on my screen to make sure that I'm set up properly. Oh, look, there's my, hey, look at that. And I'm back. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, I appreciate y'all. Whoever did come hang out and watch us, whoever may be watching this, go out there and make the world a better place. And if you have any problems or questions, give us a shout. Robin C. Stern, I am your Google guru.